Welcome to Omni Academy. This is Maria, and today we are starting our fourth lecture on the development of ear. In the last lecture, we studied the development of external ear, and in today's lecture, we are discussing the development of middle ear. So, the middle ear is made up of three parts: number one, tympanic cavity, number two, auditory tube, and number three, ossicles. So, let's start the development of middle ear with the development of tympanic cavity. All the middle ear structures are derived from the pharyngeal apparatus, and we will be discussing the pharyngeal apparatus when we will be studying the development of head and neck. So let's now move to the development of tympanic cavity, which is also known as middle ear cavity. So the tympanic cavity is derived or originated from the first pharyngeal pouch. So how the development begins? So firstly, the endoderm of the first pharyngeal pouch extends to form the tubotympanic recess. This recess grows towards the first pharyngeal cleft. After that, the distal part of the recess expands laterally to form the tympanic cavity, while the proximal part of the recess remains narrow to become the auditory tube. The auditory tube is also known as eustachian tube. Bones of the ear are later get enveloped by tympanic cavity as it enlarges. Lining of the tympanic cavity and auditory tube is endodermal in nature as these are endodermal in origin. So what is tympanic antrum? So what happens during the late fetal life is that cavity expands. This tympanic cavity expands dorsally to form the tympanic antrum. After birth, epithelium invades the mastoid process leading to pneumonization, which is formation of air sacs. So this was the development of tympanic cavity, and we know the source for the development of tympanic cavity is the first pharyngeal pouch. Let me explain this with the help of diagram. So you can see in this diagram that this endoderm of the first pharyngeal pouch is extending towards the first pharyngeal cleft. And as it is extending towards the first pharyngeal cleft, it is forming a recess. This area is a recess which is known as the tubotympanic recess. The tubotympanic recess after some time grows laterally, and this lateral portion of the tubotympanic recess becomes the primitive tympanic cavity. As you can see in this diagram, that this is the primitive tympanic cavity, and the proximal portion, this area of the tubotympanic recess in the later life will become the auditory tube. As you can see in this diagram, that this area has now become the auditory tube, which later was the tubotympanic recess. So let's now move to the development of ossicles. So let's now start the development of the ear ossicles. All the ear ossicles develop from the mesenchyme of the pharyngeal arches, and all the ear ossicles are developed before the tympanic cavity is developed. The malleus and the incus are derived from the cartilage of the first pharyngeal arch, but the stapes is derived from the cartilage of the second pharyngeal arch. Stapes is a unique bone because of its dual origin of the foot plate. The foot plate of the stapes is made up of two sources, number one the neural crest cell and number two the paraxial mesoderm. All the ossicles appear in the first half of fetal life. They remain embedded in mesenchyme until 8 months, but when the tissue surrounding the bones dissolves by the 8 months, ossicles become free and mobile. So this was the development of the ear ossicles. So let's now move to the development of the muscles that are present in the tympanic cavity. So the first muscle is the tensor tympani and the second muscle is the stapedius. The tensor tympani is derived from the first arch and it is supplied by the trigeminal nerve. The stapedius is derived from the second arch and it is supplied by the facial nerve. So this was the development of the middle ear. Let me now summarize the process of development of middle ear. We know that the middle ear is made up of three parts. Number one, tympanic cavity. Number two, ear ossicles. Number three, muscles that are present in the tympanic cavity. We know that the tympanic cavity is derived from the first pharyngeal pouch. The ear ossicles, which are three in number, among them the malleus and incus are derived from the cartilage of first pharyngeal arch. The stapes is derived from the second pharyngeal arch. Stapes is unique because of its dual origin of the foot plate. The foot plate of the stapes is made up of two sources, number one neural crus cells and number two paraxial mesoderm. Now let's move to the muscles that are present in the tympanic cavity, which are two in number. Number one, the tensor tympani, and number two, stapedius. The tensor tympani is derived from the first arch, and the stapedius is derived from the second arch. So this was today's lecture. In the next lecture, we will be discussing the development of the inner ear. So see you in next lecture.